What's up, everyone? Back for another non-alcoholic beer review. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from Untitled Art. And they are out of Waunakee, Wisconsin. And this is their Orange Peel Wit. So they're calling this one a Belgian-style Witbier that is brewed with sweet orange peel, coriander, and a touch of clover honey. It comes in at less than 0.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a best by date of March 8th of 2024, about a year and a half away from that date, so we should be good. Now, this is the 5th non-alcoholic beer review on my channel, and 3 of them have come from Untitled Art. Why? Because they seem to be releasing the more interesting non-alcoholic beers. I saw this and I was like, a Belgian-style Witbier? Yeah, sign me up. So here we are, and it's quite fresh. It just came in, so I'm really excited about this one. Now, they have, all the goodies on the side of the can here. It says average analysis per 12 fluid ounces, 70 calories, 15 grams of carbs, 0 grams of protein, and 0 grams of fat. It also says, where does it say over? Oh yeah, 3 grams of sugar, and it also calls it a non-alcoholic malt beverage. They don't specify. I don't see anywhere on the label here where they mention the sweet orange peel, coriander, and touch of clover honey, but they do mention that on Instagram. So anyway, let's crack this open, get it into the glass, and see what we got going on here. Now, when it comes to these non-alcoholic beers, I feel like, for me, the body is the key thing that kind of separates it from a regular alcoholic beer. Usually they're very thin because, there's 0.5, percent ABV or lower, so it's tough to get that body. Although the last beer I had from Untitled Art, which was their lychee sherbet fruited sour, that had the best body. I think lactose was in there, so I bumped it up. It was really nice. So anyway, okay, yeah, that plays the role of a Belgian-style Wit. It might be a little bit more, I think, murky on camera. In person, you can see a little bit through it, but it doesn't have that crazy murk, but it has that, yellow golden kind of, say yellow golden orange color. Good carbonation, had about a finger of this bright white, very soap sudsy looking head, but I would say that looks somewhat like, to some degree, like a Belgian-style Witbier. I don't know how it's going to look on camera, but in person, yeah, to some degree, I would want it to be a little bit more hazy. Maybe when I pour the goodies in at the end, it will haze it up a little bit more. Anyway, let's get a nose. Oh, that smells nice. Did I spill some already, or is that just from my glass? I don't know. Yeah, so I get the sweet orange peel, huge orange off the top. You get that coriander. I'm not really getting the honey, but typically, Belgian Witbiers are brewed with orange peel and coriander, and I'm definitely getting that here. But the orange smells actually like a fresh orange, right? Not an orange peel, more like you just bit into an orange. That's kind of like you're going in to bite like the flesh of an orange, and you're like, oh yeah, it smells really good. That's what it smells like. There's a little bit of like a yeasty, like, bubblegum thing going on, a grainy kind of malt quality. But that orange is probably 75% of the aroma. Like, it's dominating for sure. It smells pretty good. Does it smell exactly like a Belgian Witbier? I feel like with Belgian Wits, I get more of, the yeast profile, more of the malt, the fact that, you get that weedy sensation as well. Really not getting that here. It's mostly orange and coriander. But it doesn't smell bad. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers. So I'll say this right after the rip. This is pretty good, honestly. The body, while it's a little bit thin, it's not as thin as some of the other non-alcoholic beers I had. I would say this is lower side of like medium body. A lot of times when you're drinking a Belgian Wit, you're around the 5% ABV range, sometimes like 4.5 to like 5.5, right? I would say this is drinking like probably like a 4 to 4.5% Belgian Wit. The body has this nice, it's carbonated, but it has a nice, soft, smooth kind of creaminess to it as well, which you kind of expect from the style. So I think the body and mouthfeel, they're pretty damn close, considering this is a non-alcoholic beer that's tough to do. I give them credit. The taste, though, I don't think this is as complex or in depth or as spot on for the style, but this is a pretty fucking tasty beverage. Right forefront, you're hit with orange, predominant note. It is omnipresent. It carries through on the entire palate, but it's not overly sweet. It has, a nice sweet orange peel kind of character, but I'm getting like a zesty orange. I'm getting an orange juice, but not overly sweet. I want to stress that. It's not an overly sweet orange character. Right after that, I get a little bit of that grainy malt kind of sensation. I feel like with a real Belgian Wit, I would get a little bit more of that yeast character. whether it's like a bubblegum banana thing, and then more of like a wheat malt character. And I'm just getting kind of generic graininess from the malt in this one. So that's where it starts going a little bit sideways as far as its style goes. About 2/3 of the way through the palate, I'm hit with the coriander. This finish is very slightly dry, very mild bitterness. There's not a lot of bitterness or dryness here, but this is, again, this isn't too sweet. It kind of drinks like a, pour the rest here in here. I don't think this is gonna be any goodies. This kind of, what does this drink like? It kind of drinks like maybe like a, this might sound bad, like a watered down orange juice. Like, I'm somebody who, I enjoy watering down or mixing my orange juice. I always find like real regular orange juice to be a little bit too sweet for me nowadays. So I'll mix it with like, sometimes like soda water, or sometimes I'll even do a mix of like that and, you know, something that doesn't have a lot of sweetness but has carbonation. I like, you know, the carbonation is nice. Sometimes I'll just water it down with like half water, half orange juice, and that's kind of good what I'm getting here. But it does have beer qualities. I will say it doesn't have the strange kind of like, I hate saying off flavor because it's a non-alcoholic beer, but like that off flavor you get in non-alcoholic beers, this doesn't have it, and I think I appreciate that because some of the other ones have. I think this is really nice. I rate to how I enjoy the beer. If I was going to say, did they nail to me an orange peel Belgian-style Witbier? You know, Belgian-style Witbier brewed with sweet orange peel, coriander, 100. Maybe why it's a little bit sweeter, and maybe why it's not that mild and or that has that mild bitterness and like low dryness is maybe because of the clover honey. But regardless, I don't think they've nailed a Belgian-style Wit. But I think they did a pretty good job making a very drinkable and enjoyable non-alcoholic beer. To me, this drinks like, if you just called this, said, hey man, this is a an orange blonde ale or something, you know, just something generic, I would believe that more than a Belgian-style Wit. That said, it's pretty good. So stylistically, I don't think this is great. Honestly, stylistically, for me, I'd probably give this like a low 3, like a 3.1 or something. But I rate to how I enjoy this one. And I will say this, if you want a non-alcoholic beer that has a good kick of orange, a little bit of coriander, a little bit of honey, although you don't really taste the honey, it's more of a perceived sweetness, very easy to session. And again, more importantly for me, something that I think does a better job than the others I've had, and that's that off flavor. You really don't get it here. I just want to make sure, one more sip and then... Yeah, I'm not getting that weird non-alcoholic off flavor. I'm just not. And I think I enjoy it. I'm not going to super high rating or anything, but I enjoy this one. So Orange Peel Wit from Untitled Art, their non-alcoholic beer here. I'm going to give this a high 3.75 and go 3.8. I think that's fair for what I'm drinking. The only thing about all these non-alcoholic beers, they're kind of pricey. I looked at Untitled Art's website. You can buy directly from their website. I didn't see where they ship, like what states. But all of the Untitled Art, like non-alcoholic stuff, was anywhere between $16.99 and $18.99. So you're talking 17, 19 bucks. Most of them come in these 12-ounce 6-packs. You're talking $3 a can on average, right? It's a bit expensive. That's what I paid for. I think I paid like $3.25 or $3.50 for this can. It's not alcoholic, has no alcohol in it. You're drinking kind of something that's trying to mimic beer. I get it. Still a bit pricey for me, but it is what it is. And availability, like I said, you can order it off their website. If you want to try some of their non-alcoholic stuff, go to the website and see if they ship to your state. As far as like distro, here in the Buffalo, New York area, we see quite a few of their offerings, both their regular beers and the non-alcoholic ones. And I think they're fun. I'm going to try more from them for sure. I think this is, of the 3 they've had so far, probably my least favorite. I like the milk or chocolate milk, basically pastry stout. I thought that was pretty good. And that lychee sherbet is the best of the bunch so far. Of all 5 beers, that's my favorite. I think it came closest to nailing what that beer should be, and it was quite delicious. This, a little bit of a miss from the style perspective, but in general, it's a good beverage. We'll just say that. So anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. What is your favorite non-alcoholic beer? I've asked this in pretty much every review, but I am a novice when it comes to non-alcoholic beers. I only remember the old school days of duels. So if you have a recommendation for a non-alcoholic beer, let me know. I've had a couple people recommend, again, non-alcoholic Guinness, non-alcoholic Heineken, and I think that's been pretty much the 2 main ones. I'll try to get to those before the end of the year. But outside of that, is there anything else that some different breweries are producing that you enjoy? If so, post in the comment section. And we appreciate everybody stopping by for another non-alcoholic beer review. Till the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, I always do this at the end of a regular review, but 0.5%. You can't taste any alcohol. Cheers.